What is intuitive thinking? You might be confused. Let's learn what is intuitive thinking in this video. Hi, I'm Abhimanyu Datta, an elder brother, an elder son, fiance to a superwoman, an MBA turned into logistics entrepreneur, and now a profit scale up coach. I've been published by a leading English newspaper and I've trained over 200 entrepreneurs in a special government of India training program. And I'm on a mission to help 1 million entrepreneurs achieve 10x profit using intuition. And I'm the founding partner of 10x Profit Hub. In this video, I'll be telling you the exact meaning of what do you mean when we say intuitive thinking. I'll be covering 2-3 points. One will include types of thinkers, the benefits of intuitive thinking, and how does the thinking process takes place. So I need you to take right now a notepad and a pen to take lots of notes. And if you're watching it on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, on LinkedIn, comment, I'm ready to learn. All right, so let's start. So today's topic is for our video is what is intuitive thinking. So we will start with understanding what is the decision making process happens. So how does the decision making process takes place. So when we talk about decision making, it involves certain processes in the brain that takes place. All right, so there are two steps that happens in decision making process. One, there are two types of decisions. One are instant decisions. All right, yes and no. Do I take this train or not? Should I eat this chocolate or not? Should I be saying yes to a phone call? Should I be saying yes to a party? Should I be really going? Should I really cross the road now? Should I buy this piece of clothing? These are instant decisions, right? Sometimes we have to take instant decisions due to the situations. We don't get much time. We have to take decisions quickly and we have to let the other person know. For example, you might be at a ticket counter for a movie and you don't get a show for a particular timing. So you don't get more than say 1 minute or 2 minutes. Why? Because people are waiting behind you. So you have to take instant decisions. Now, when you're taking an instant decision, one thing happens is how you take instant decisions is whatever first thing that comes in your mind. Most of us takes decision when we have to take instant decision. We take the decision immediately, whatever the first thought that comes in our mind, the first instinct that we get. So should I take this train? No, it looks too crowded, I shouldn't take it. Should I watch this 10 p.m. movie? I don't think so. We'll think later why don't think so, but it thinks in yes and no, it thinks in 1 and 0. So instant decisions are like yes and no questions. Should I be doing it? Should I not be doing it? All right. Why it is important to take instant decisions? Because there are a lot of situations. It might also help you to save your life, to save money, to even save time. That's why these decisions exist in our lives. We have to take such instant decisions. So people generally take such decisions depending upon the first instinct they get in their mind. And also, there's a thin line between backing instinct and just going ahead. So there's one thing that you really need to be careful when taking instant decisions is you have to understand that there is a thin line that exists between your instinct and just going ahead blindly without even giving it a thought. How many times have you seen yourself saying yes to that meeting, to that job, to that party, or to anything, and then later you regretted it that I shouldn't have done it? It has happened with you. It has happened with me as well. It has happened with me many a times. But today I am more aware. I take a minute to really think what my brain is saying to me and I listen to my instinct and brain and then answer accordingly. I don't answer depending upon what the other person will feel. Most of the times, we all fall in this trap just to make sure that the other person doesn't feel bad. We just say yes, or we just go along with it, whatever the situation is, or whatever the answer is, or whatever they're expecting us to do. So there's a very thin line that exists between your instinct and just going ahead. All right, the second type of decisions that a human has to make are decisions where you get time to decide, to reflect, where you have a considerable amount of time in hand. For example, you have a job offer in hand, and generally companies do give you 3 days, 5 days, or even 7 days to think about it, and you have to revert within say 30 days or 7 days periods of time. You are getting that business contract. Again, you get some time by the time you sign contract, and then that contract is actually executed. So there is a time. So there are certain decisions that requires time. What kind of purchase you should be doing. So if it's a huge purchase, you naturally take time. You tell the showroom guys, all right, we need some time, we'll just go out, we'll brainstorm with our partner, with ourselves, and we'll then come back and take a decision. So the bigger the financial commitment, the bigger the time commitment, the bigger the energy commitment you have to give, the more time a human will take to decide on a particular thing. So these decisions are called as decisions which take longer in time, and you take time to reflect. Now in these decisions as well, you have to be very careful, because there's a thin line between procrastination and taking usual good amount of time. What happens is, we as human beings, we easily fall into the trap of procrastination. All right, let's do tomorrow. Maybe not today. Maybe after a week, after a month. So in such decisions, it's very important that you give yourself a time frame, and you decide all the pros and the cons, and you arrive at a decision and you execute it. So it's really important, because if you don't take that decision, you're again yourself you are giving yourself a reason to put yourself back into your life. What if that next purchase would have propelled you to your success? That course that you should be taking, could have promoted you, or could have helped you in launching your business. So such decisions, you do take time, but there's a thin line between procrastination and taking time. So be very careful in such decisions. All right, so the second part we'll learn is what are the types of decision makers. So we learned here that what are the types of decisions. All right, so if you're mind blown away, comment mind blown. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, or LinkedIn, comment mind blown. All right, so now we'll see what are the types of decision makers. In life, we generally see there are two types of people who make such decisions. So the first decision maker you will get are those people who are intuitive thinkers. They rely more on their intuition and the universal power belief. Now when I say universal power belief, what does it mean, or what does it mean intuitive thinkers? So intuitive thinkers is nothing but people who use intuition to make decisions. All right, when you see the process of decision making, this is the flow of decision making. So you have a problem, you have a situation in hand, you look at all the pros and the cons, you use logic, you use the attributes of time, energy, time, money, energy, how much it is saving, your input vis-a-vis the output, and the final result that you want, and you take a decision. So those people are logical based people who take decisions based on logic. But here I'm talking about intuitive, that even after using logic, there might be situations where you're still unsure, the data is not helping you. That's a time when people use their intuition, what their inner self is trying to tell them, what their inner self is trying to hint at. So they try to listen to their inner self, they try to listen to the messages given by the universe in forms of messages, songs, hoardings, newspaper headlines, ads on the internet, anything. People learn to decode such message, read such messages, and then apply it in their lives. So, and they also believe that when they listen to their inner self and they listen to the messages given by the universe, they know that the right thing will happen in their life. So the first type of decision makers are intuitive thinkers who rely on their intuition and also believe that the universe is looking after them and the universe is helping them to take the right decisions and to make right things in their life. The second type of decision makers are reflective. They are more of counterintuitive, so it's the opposite of intuitive. They reflect more, they use a lot of logic, they use a lot of data. So we have seen people in our lives that if they have to make a certain purchase, for example, you have to purchase a particular camera, So logical people will look at all the available options. They would study all the specifications, model, company make, features, pros and cons and price. They will make a total comparative chart and see which company brand gets the more points. So whatever model gets more points, they choose that model and they then buy it. So this is more of reflective thinking people are. Now why it is important? Because many a times it's not just about personal thinking, but it's also used in business. Nowadays big data is very important in business. People rely on data like anything, and it's a saying that data is the new oil. All right, so people rely on data and they reflect, they look at various models, they create models out of data, and then they try to come to a probable result that will happen if they take a particular decision based on the data. So these people want to be sure. So how they become sure is by looking at the data, by modeling, by using models, and they see that if such data is present and we take a decision based on this particular data, what will be the probable output? Does that probable outcome uh, match their goals or their dreams, their aspirations? If yes, they take that decision. If no, they again look for more data. All right, so intuitive thinking involves not only working with data but also listening to your inner voice. Now how can intuitive thinking be beneficial to you? Excited to know about the benefits of intuitive thinking? Comment I'm excited right now. I would love to see your comments. I would love to see the kind of participation you're making, and I would also love to see the learnings that you get from our video. So after end of every video, do comment what are your key takeaways from every video that we have been giving you. So now we'll be seeing of the benefits of intuitive thinking. So there are particularly 3 benefits if you use intuitive thinking. Benefit number 1 is, for entrepreneurs or even for common people, is the opportunity cost. All right, when I say opportunity cost, that means if you miss that particular opportunity because data wasn't able to help you decide, the cost of not using that opportunity is very high. Vis-a-vis, suppose you use that opportunity and it turned out to be negative. So many a times people let go of the opportunities, they let opportunities slip, and these are opportunities cost. These can really change your future if you had taken those decisions. Do you remember, or do you even sometimes regret of not taking that particular decision? See, there's a saying that we people don't regret on the decisions that we have made, but we regret on the decisions that we never took. This is what it tries to say, opportunity cost. All right, so that you don't regret that you should have taken that decision, it's important that you integrate intuitive thinking into your life. Second benefit of intuitive thinking is, when people work with loads and loads of data, it leads to analysis paralysis. That means you just keep diving down in data, you just keep modeling after other models, and you are not able to take a decision. Why it is important to not to get into analysis paralysis? Because you end up spending a lot of time and energy in looking at the best possible solution, and you still never take an action, and the opportunity slips away. So it's always important that you set yourself a considerable amount of time, and in that time, if you're unable to find a solution, whatever the best solution you find in that particular time, you start at least implementing it. Many a times you would see that entrepreneurs who start with a particular idea, the original idea was something different, but once they start executing it, they understand that this is not what we intended to do this. So they keep making changes to the plan, and ultimately they become so successful, it becomes a huge hit in the market. And whenever you listen to their interviews or read their biographies, they always said, we didn't had this intention to do it, we had some different idea, but we somehow started it. So the important point is, you just do it, you just start doing it. And the third benefit of intuitive thinking is it will open more avenues for profit. You can 2x, 3x, 5x, 7x, even 10x your profit if you start incorporating intuitive thinking in your day-to-day life, in your profession, and in your business. Who wants to say 5x or 10x their profit? Comment, I want to 10x my profit. So comment profit 10x if you want to 10x your profit. Alright, so these are the 3 benefits of intuitive thinking. Now before you leave, I want you to do 3 things right now. I want you to join our private VIP Facebook group of 10x Profit Hub. The link is given in the description. I also want you to join our Telegram private channel of 10x Profit Hub. The link is given in the description. So click on both the links and join both the groups on Facebook and on Telegram. And lastly, do like this video. Alright, we'll be coming back with new videos and new content. Till then, take care. Bye bye.